RBVN Network, Billerica, Massachusetts, home to good personality profiles. Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich from the RBVN Studios in Billerica, Massachusetts, for the first video blog for Saturday, September 17th, 2016, around 6:50 in the morning, Billerica, Massachusetts. Waking up to a cool morning. Right now about 45 degrees, but it's going to be warmer, shooting up to about 75, 76. Tomorrow, humid, chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some news to report from the RBVN Newswire. The Boston Red Sox beat the New York Yankees by a score of 7-4. Sox are up 6 games for the New York Yankees. It looks like the Yankees are done for the playoff picture this season. Also, the World Cup of Hockey starts today at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto. Catch the games on the ESPN family and networks in the United States, and Rogers Sportsnet and TVA Sports in Canada. And sad news to report in the world of literature. W.P. Kinsella passed away at the age of 81. He was a writer that wrote Field of Dreams, which inspired the 1989 movie. And also, author and playwright Edward Albee passed away at the age of 88. So prayers to their family in this time of need. And that's about it on the news from the RBVN Newswire. Be back in a flash. I'm back. My first video blog subject of the day is about the former professional wrestling tag team, the Killer Bees. The Killer Bees were B. Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell. They were a tag team from 1985 through 1994. Most of their success was in the WWE. The Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell, came to the WWE when the expansion period was happening around 1985, when Vince McMahon was signing all the professional wrestlers from the regional territories. And both B. Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell were of similar build, and the idea of the Killer Bees was the WWE champion at the time, Hulk Hogan's idea. And the Killer Bees started a team in 1985. They wore yellow trunks and yellow boots, and they had a high-flying maneuvers tag teams. They wrestled a lot on television, beating preliminary wrestlers, double drop kicks, high-flying moves, which was pretty good, and they were over with the crowd. They got into feuds with the Dream Team, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and the High Foundation, and Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik. And they were in the 20-man Battle Royal at WrestleMania 2. And around the middle of 1986, the Killer Bees got masked. It was like they would go underneath the ring, and they would put on the mask, and they didn't know which one was which. And they did that. They first started to do that in at the big event 1986, when they faced off against Haas and Jimmy Jack Funk. The Killer Bees won that match pretty easily, and then they continued to do that against the Hart Foundation on Saturday night's main event. It was a great gimmick. The fans were cheering the Killer Bees. They wrestled against Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik at WrestleMania 3, the match before the main event, but they only got like 4 minutes. They lost to it because Hacksaw Jim Duggan interfered. That was just to set up the Hacksaw Jim Duggan Iron Sheik feud, which went nowhere because both of them were fired because they were caught like smoking pot together while driving in New Jersey. That's another story for another day. And at least 3 times the Killer Bees were promised the WWE Tag Team Championship. That's what Brian Blair said, especially for one of the former bookers of the WWE, George Scott. But they were never given to him. It was a broken promise. And the Killer Bees had t-shirts, and they were selling pretty good. And like in late 1987, the Killer Bee stock was going down because of new tag teams coming in like Strike Force and the Young Stallions. And B. Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell was asked to turn heel in 1988, but they rejected the idea, and then the WWE started to job them out to like the heel tag teams, and the Killer Bees were like imitated by other heel teams. At one televised house show in Philadelphia at the Spectrum, they had 2 preliminary wrestlers dress up as Killer Bees mask between Hulk Hogan and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. They attacked Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was going to grab one of the Killer Bees mask, but another mask was underneath, and the other one fled away. That wasn't Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell. The last televised mask the Killer Bees had was on an edition of Superstars in July of 1988 when they lost to the newly turned heel Rougeau Brothers tag team. That was originally going to be the Killer Bees, but they rejected it, so they had to turn to Rougeau Brothers instead. And then they split up the Killer Bees, and both of them wrestled on WWE television until like late 1988 when like Brian Blair was fired. Jumping Jim Brunzell stayed with the WWE into the early 1990s as basically a television jobber. The Killer Bees reunited on the independent circuit in the early 1990s, but they could not use the name Killer Bees, which that was trademarked by the WWE, so they had to use a new tag team called Mass Confusion, which was similar to the Killer Bees, still using the mask. They wrestled in Herb Abrams' UWF, even winning the Herb Abrams UWF tag team titles, and they also wrestled for the AWA All-Star, which was promoted by Dale Gagne. They eventually split up for good, disbanded for good in 1995. Both B. Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell sued the WWE one time for like unpaid merchandise, but that was settled out of court, and the Killer Bees should have been WWE Tag Team Champions at least once because they were so overcrowded. They had high-flying moves, and that mask gimmick, what they put in, was so awesome in my humble opinion. I couldn't imagine the Killer Bees heels though, because it just wouldn't work out. And I doubt that the Killer Bees will go into the WWE Hall of Fame because Jumping Jim Brunzell is currently suing the WWE because of the concussion lawsuit. But B. Brian Blair owned stock in the WWE. That's a fact, Jack. And that's about it on the Killer Bees. I'll be back later, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google Plus with 2 more video blogs. One will be about top candidates for most valuable player in the American League and National League. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about former Major League Baseball player Tony Amos. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie, but a guy. Molly Roseblood of WCCO accent has nice legs. Elizabeth Atso, so stunning, she's the best. Amy Squeezy's awesome, awesome Amy. Linda Church of WPIX Channel 11 in New York has the best legs. New York City. And Bob Gibbs of ABC 11 has a sweet Southern accent, which is so sweet, and she's got the best legs in Raleigh, North Carolina. And in the words of Sean Luchette, get out. You've been watching the RBVN Network, Billerica, Massachusetts.